You remember the last time that you had an argument with anybody. Just remember. Remember that last argument. Okay, you got it? I mean, this is an argument. You're mad at somebody. They're mad at you. Right? Or you're hurt. Or they're hurt. It feels bad. Not a lot of self-love going on here. Self-righteousness maybe. Self-righteousness, not self-love. So, feel your emotion. Isn't that emotion amped or numbed? Okay. You know, if you're in that dominator collapse, if you're in the collapse position, you're going to be numbed. Okay? If you're in the dominator position, it's like amped. Feel the story that you're telling yourself. Pretty bad story about the other person. Pretty self-justifying story about you. That's a distorted perspective. What's your impulse? To take off, tell them to go fuck themselves? What is it? You know, to do something mean? That's a destructive impulse. How empathic are you to the fact that they're feeling bad right now? How much empathy do you have for them? Practically none, right? And how aware are you that you're entering a defensive state and acting badly? Not very aware. That is a defensive state. Now, if you're aware of that, you can go, I want to have a state of healthy response. And how do you get there? You reach for compassion. So let's do that right now. Go back into that argument and have compassionate understanding of you and of them. What's going on with that person? What's your compassionate understanding of what's going on at that moment? Just reach for it. What's a story that's a proportionate and accurate and compassionate story about you and a compassionate and accurate and proportionate story about them? You beginning to get it? Beginning to feel a little bit kinder? Beginning to feel a little bit more self-love? This capacity to notice defensive states and adjust them to pro-social states of healthy response is marked on our integration of defenses line of development. The better we get at this, the less violence we do and the more self-love we experience. Okay. Defensive states, states of healthy response to the present moment. We are all wired to have them, and we can't start self-regulating them until at least we're 15 or 16. And our empathy circuits and our self-awareness circuits, they're not fully myelinated in our brains until we're 26. So by the times our brains are old enough to fully be aware of this stuff and look at ourselves and be able to examine ourselves and self-reflect when we're distressed, we have had decades to practice these states. This is where all the suffering in the world comes from. This is where all the violence in the world comes from. And so we want to learn to notice defensive states like the one you just noticed and adjust to a pro-social state of healthy response to the present moment. And you do it by reaching for compassionate understanding. Now, as you reach for compassionate understanding, you're also going to your trans-rational moral system. As you reach for compassionate understanding, you're going to your trans-rational moral system. You're beginning to feel more of a sense of unity with this person and unity with everybody who has trans-rational moral systems. As you do that, you begin to feel a pretty good sense about yourself. Self-love. If you take that ultimately to its end, you feel a sense of unity and compassion for everything and everybody. You are back to I am love.